here. Just a few minutes running behind. Good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, let's see. All right, looks like people are waiting here and getting ready to jump in. I'm just a few minutes late. My background isn't working today. What is going on with StreamYard? I have my background effects turned on. Well, hey, please share with us where you're from, what the weather's like in your area. Let's get a little conversation started. Um, what you do in the effects industry or the CG industry, or what, however you're using 3D. Welcome to the Blender 3D and LightWave discussions. All right, so my visual effects is not working inside of StreamYard for some reason. I'm telling it to blur my background and or add my little special effects background, but it's not doing it. It doesn't want to react. It doesn't want to play nice today. So you guys get to see my messy background. Matter of fact, I can probably turn off that light back there so it's not so bad. Let me get up and turn off that light. It kind of makes the background a little bit annoying. Better that way, more light is on my face and less on the background. Good morning. Share where you're from, with weather lights in your area, and also share, what you do with 3D, Blender or LightWave. Welcome to the Blender 3D and LightWave discussions. We call it that because I was originally a LightWave guy before I became a Blender guy. And there's still a lot of LightWavers in the industry who are also switching over to Blender. And I figured this would be a nice little way to kind of share ideas with one another on a Saturday morning. Well, earlier Saturday morning, so we can have fun and then go play in the great weather, at least that we have in San Diego. I don't know about you guys. So share where you're from, what the weather like is in your area. Now, if you want to jump on and share with us live, just to share what you're doing or a project you're working on, I am going to put the link right now, and I'm going to type it right here inside of Twitch. I've got 3 monitors around me. I've got one here, and one over here. So you see my head spinning around. That's because I'm not possessed. I'm just looking at 3 monitors. Okay. So to share live, come over to this link and let's see, let's kind of drop this in here. Cool. Let me bring up something else too, because last week I promised we're going to kind of complete a Christmassy project we're working on, and one of them actually. Let me start sharing my screen. We'll kind of do a little bit of rehash of what we were doing last week. There we go. I'm going to start sharing my screen, share the entire screen, and share the one that I want to share with you, which is that one there, which now you should be able to see there, see my screen. All right, so let me bring up the full screen monitor. So last week, let's see who's jumping in here. Mac Nonsense, welcome. Parsons, welcome. So Parsons, I just put the link to join us live in the chat. Jump on, share what you're working on. Would love to see and hear your wisdom. All right. People are starting to jump in now. Okay, so we were playing around with this concept of using AI for creating 3D. So we figured we would do a Christmassy type of a concept. And the one we were playing around with was a triple or triple 3D. And it should recognize all of my assets here. Let me kind of get rid of this. Yeah, so this is what we did last week. So that's the one we produced. All right, we produced that. Kind of scroll in. The 3D programs, 3D creation programs are getting better and better all the time. They're getting better and better all the time. And I do have another workflow I want to share with everybody besides this one that I think is a lot more accurate to 3D models and all, or producing 3D models. But I'm still working it out, I'm still learning it. So let me kind of work out this new workflow that I've got, and then I will share that with you. All right, let's see who's showing. Yeah, more people are jumping in here. Not showing up in my viewers though, because no one's saying anything in the chat box. You gotta chat in the chat box, that way I can see who you are. I can see the numbers are up, but then nobody's in the chat box, so it doesn't show everybody in here. Welcome again to the Blender 3D and LightWave discussions. To share live, I put the share live link here. For those who just jumped in, I'm going to do it again because I notice that sometimes when people come in fresh, they don't always see the stuff I just posted. So you're welcome to jump on live, and if I hear a beep in StreamYard, then I know someone's jumping on. Okay, cool. So we were building this last week. We actually exported it out. We brought it into Blender. In fact, and we started to redesign it in Blender because it gave us a quad workflow, but it didn't. It's not always optimal. I'm drinking my smoothie here as I'm talking to everybody. So now let's go into Blender and kind of show what it actually gave us. Now I'm going to go. I think it should have me in the open recents, and if I remember correctly, was it Santa Sleigh? I forget what we saved it as actually. And I don't see it here in my. Let's go to more and see if I happen to see it in here. I do not. So I'm going to have to go from memory here. So Control O. Let's open this up. Let's go over here to our lessons folder and let's go over presentations. And I believe there was a sleigh, Santa Sleigh. I'm going to guess that's the folder we saved it under. And normally I kind of work on it right before, there it is, Santa Sleigh. So I remember. Okay, cool, right there. Let's open it up. Okay, Santa Sleigh blend. Yeah, we're playing around with concepts. There were some questions about workflow concepts and modeling. There's a bunch of different ways in approaching modeling in any 3D program. Any 3D program that's more than just, there's a bunch of different ways to do the same thing. I try to be as efficient as possible because time is money, as I always mention. Scroll back. There's our little sleigh. I'm going to get rid of that little thing right there. And I'm going to hit the delete key since we were doing a little experimenting. The period key. Oh, that's not the period key. That was the old key. There we go. There's a little sleigh. Let's turn off an X-ray view. And I think this is what we originally got from Triple. Okay. And let's go over to material view. There we go. So that's what we got. So this other one is one we were working on. Hit the H key for hide just temporarily. All right. So we will start in to model the sleigh part here. All right, I think we did. We add a modifier to this. I think we did. If I believe it. Yeah, we did a bevel modifier. There we go. So I'm working with 5.01. It's the release candidate. So if you weren't aware, Blender has a new update. Let me see. I haven't been to Blender's site this week, and they often update. So I'm going to go real fast. Blender.org. Let's see what's been going on. So that's I already donated. All right, so it's still 5.0. I was expecting 5.01 to be out this week. So let's see what's happening here. I often like to go over to the downloads and go to the bottom of the downloads to the pink area. Let's see what we've got in experimental. Let's see what's going on. So, okay, there is a new release candidate. It looks like here of 5.01. Let me see. This is what the date. The date is. Oh, you know what? There isn't. I know. I've got the latest one. Okay, so this was December 13th. So I do have the latest one. So there, yeah, that's just be aware. I like if it goes to release candidate, even I'll play with beta, but if it goes to release candidate, I'll definitely download it and start to play with it because it's pretty much done. They're just cleaning up stuff in the program. All right, so let's go play. Let's have some fun. Tim is here. All right, Tim, I'm adding you to the stage, and say hello. Unmute your mic. Hello to
Hello.
everybody.
Hello. How's everybody
All
doing?
right, now hold on a second. I'm not hearing you. I don't know why. So maybe because I've got the wrong microphone selected. I mean, the wrong speaker selected. So
Hello.
there
How's
we go.
everybody
I can hear.
doing?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now. So it
Good.
wasn't me. It was you. How you doing
No,
this morning?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Good.
All
As I'm
right.
drinking, as I'm drinking my smoothie here,
Yeah.
I got up late this morning.
Mm.
I didn't
Well,
have
I'm going to put myself on mute here and let you do your thing here, Stephen.
Yeah, and then whatever projects you're working on later on, share what you've been up to.
Well, okay.
It's always fun.
We
I was
might have something. I'm not
oh
sure.
good, yay! Might's a good thing.
Might. That's a big might.
That's you must share.
We'll see.
All right, man. But thanks for being here.
Yep.
Um, all right, we'll go play. Let's go play. I gotta wake up here. I didn't have a chance to make my coffee. We have break. I'll make my coffee and come back with more enthusiasm. So there we go. There's a little we're starting a little sleigh here. All right, let's see who else is jumping in here. All right, let's go play. Um, okay, so we started doing the sleigh. We got the bevel on there. Well, we're gonna texture all this later on too. Maybe I know that. Yeah, we should be able to get the. I think with the 3D program. I wonder if it allows us to. Well, I'll go back to Triple and see if it allows us to do the individual maps. So, all right, and then I started making the body. So I'm gonna hit my Alt H, and I'm going to turn off the subdivision surfaces on the body because it makes it more difficult to model. And looking at this piece here, I'm kind of looking at what we've got going here. Yeah, easy peasy. Um, Go to my orthographic view, side view here, and let's kind of just clean up the the view of this thing. So going to my side view here, let's go over here to X-ray. Oh, we can't do that because we're actually currently in the we're currently in the materials. We got to go solid. There we go. Now I'm going to go to X-ray there. All right, and let's go ahead and get into our edit view, tab key, edit mode. So I like this particular workflow in Blender where I have these the pie menu show up for the various editing modes. So by default, this doesn't happen in Blender. By default, tab goes directly into edit mode and or object mode. It toggles between these two here. But I set it up in Blender. Get out of there. Go to object mode. Go back to edit mode. In edit preferences, you'll find that under, I think it's under navigation. Oh, I'm forgetting where it is. Let's see. It will be under key map. Sorry, under key map right here. So under key map, tab for pie menu, have that checked. I just find that very, very handy in terms of, and more efficient workflow wise, because I'm always toggling between, various sculpting modes and what do we got in here? Let me kind of bring this back. So I'm constantly toggling between object edit, sculpting, vertex, texture paint. I mean, constantly. So this is nice to have this little menu up here. Okay. Oops, I actually went into paint mode. So I want to go back to edit mode there. All right, X-ray view is on. So let's just go to the edge editing view, grab these edges up here. Hit the 2 key on the keyboard, grab those edges up there, push it on down. All right, just kind of matching the look and feel of the model. And I keep it simple, stupid, boxy shapes, as I like to call it for right now. I've got some curvature going on in here with that I can easily deal with in two ways. One, subdivision surfaces, and if I want to keep it hard surface modeling technique, I can basically bevel these edges here. But I like to stay away from n-gons as much as possible at this point. Okay. So let's start hollowing out kind of the insides here. And we got a hollow piece. I might do the seat separately. I might not. Well, we'll see. So we're only going to do half. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and start doing a bevel. So I'm going to get out of this X-ray mode. And let me come up here. And let's go over to, I got the cube here. There's the tripod model here. Let's see, what is this here? Okay, nothing's showing up. That's that. Okay, so going from memory, I started to forget. So I'm going to go ahead and just right up here in my 3D menu are my objects. Lights, camera, we're going to deal with those later. I'm going to just cascade those up. This cube here, I don't know what that is. I don't remember what it is, so I'm going to just delete it. So turning off, that's that one. So this one, oh, I see. There it is. That's the Sleigh. So I'm going to rename these because I'm forgetting. So double click it, and that's going to be the, what do you call that? This, I don't know. We'll just call it the, not the Sleigh. What I don't know what you actually call the purse. Actually connects to the ice in the ground, but I'll call it feet. They call it feet. And of course, the Sleigh itself. All right, I'm going to call that one a Sleigh, of course. Cool. All right, now I'm a little better organized. I'm hitting Control S to save, and let's go work. All right, this is my reference file here. I'm going to just lock it so I don't accidentally move it. Turn it off temporarily. Let's grab all these inside areas. So go to my face editing view. Now, if I go to C key on my keyboard, I can just start to paint, right? All this area right there. Go to the paint mode. Hit the escape key to get out of it. Okay, I've got the outside selected. And I think what I want to do is I think I want to do the same thing to the front too. So go ahead and select that front there. So all these sides are untouched. And I want to see exactly, I'm probably going to overcomplicate it here, but I probably want to go ahead and delete those on out of there. Okay. So let's go ahead and hit the X key, faces. And then from here, let's go ahead and give them a modifier. So we'll add a general, we'll go ahead and add a solidify. There we go. Oops, stuff's popping up on me there. Kind of get the face of this thing worked out. All right, let's bring this up, or down, I should say, and kind of pull that on in. All right, so we got some options in the modifier. We can see things kind of behaving oddly because of the edge flow that's going on in here. So we got an even thickness as a checkbox there. So let's go and play with this. Hit that. There we go. Okay, that evened it out. Should be fine. Let's go turn on our reference real quick. Yeah, so I'm missing. I probably do want to have the front there. I deleted the front. I think I want to have the front there. Obviously, which I could easily go and accomplish. Let's go back to my edge editing view. Grab this. All right, and oops, I don't want to do that here. We'll do this. We'll kind of go to point. There's a way to do it. Let's see. If I go to here, let me go over here. Let's just hit the E key real quick. E and X, pull that on over like that. There we go. Now we can go ahead and just fill that on in and go back to my point editing mode. Go to my front view. All right, let's do that. Just there we go. Okay, that's just a quick little way to pull it on, and then again, that's going to be my basic shape in here. And I'm probably going to have to let's see, look at some other options. Let's see what only rim going to give me. Yeah, so there's something I might want to do. In fact, I think I'm going to want to do it another way. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm probably going to have to just extrude the sides out. And I'm not liking the flow that's going on up here, so I think there's a little bit more of an efficient way of doing this. So let's turn off solidify temporarily. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do everything as a plane. So watch. I'm gonna just X-ray this face mode. Grab all this. Get rid of it. Okay. I want the back of that chair. All right. So I'm going to hit Command R or Control R to add the back here. Oops. Double click, double G it. I can just slide it. And I don't really have to do this right now, but I think it might help. Control R, and that's going to be the front end there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and slide this on out. Go get the bottom. So Control R, and then I need to straighten this out. So right click Loop Tools and flatten. Didn't flatten as much as I liked it to. So I'm gonna have to absolutely flatten it on the Z-axis. So let's go down to scale and then Z into 0 there. Flatten it that way. Okay. All right, I think that'll work. I might just take this little edge here and just nudge it in slightly. Okay, let's bring back our reference. Yep, there we go. All right, so we've got all the makings. If I come to edge view here, we got all the makings of our sleigh there. Now, if you look, we've got the chairs. So I've got geometry here to potentially create the chairs. I can add another loop right in here if I wanted to, but that's okay. So we're going to create this side first. I'm going to let my modifier just do the job for me. So if I go to Object View, and let's get out of here, and let's turn off the, I'm going to my object here, right? So hit Shift H. I'll turn everything off. Let me do that. Okay. Let's see, Shift H, turn everything off, but the object I have selected. And let's play around with this one. Okay, so let's bring this on up and let's go to our solidify there. Okay, so there. I don't want, now this, I was playing around with it, right? So solidify, I had to only rims, turn off only rims. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So if I look at my reference again, so Alt H. All right, something got moved. How did they get moved? This is what drives me nuts. There we go. That's about right. Hit that key there. Come back to here, to there. Okay, just kind of matching the thickness on the sides. All right, this is cool. So now I'm ready to apply my modifier. So I go back to my edit mode. We're making Santa's chair. Just for a nice little Christmassy thing going for the holidays. All right. I'm going to go ahead and apply it. So let's go on down here to solidify. Top, bring it to the top. Now I'm missing some options up here. I got subdivision surface and solidify. I'm going to solidify first, see if I can bring that in order. In fact, I want to turn off the subdivision surfaces there. Drop this on down. Let's get out of here and go to object mode so we can apply this first. And let's go ahead and apply it now. Okay. Okay, so track back. Okay, that's interesting. Most recent last call. I'm getting an error message. I wonder why. Why am I getting an error message? Shouldn't be getting an error message for Solidify. There is something missing up here. My little apply all buttons. That's a preference up here, and that's called modifier tools. So if I go to my add-ons, let's see if I can find it in here. Modifiers stack manager. Okay, that seems to be there. Let's go over to the get extensions. Modifier. Okay, so everything seems to be in order. I'm missing. Maybe 5.01's got something a little bit different. I'm not sure, but normally there's an apply. Well, though I'm thinking, I'm looking for. I know what it is. I'm looking for a different set of buttons. I'm in the wrong place, so yeah, let's go ahead and apply all. They move them around. Okay, that looks good. All right, so let's go back in edit mode. Tab key, edit mode. All right, that'll work. That'll work just fine. Let's go ahead and extrude our little half out. So I think I'm interested just in, let me go to X-ray mode here. Go to my face, that face. And let's see the bottom, we'll give it a little bit more thickness on the bottom. Maybe I'll thin it out a little bit more on the bottom. Not really the way it is. Shift key, double click it. Oops, it did that whole loop. Damn it, I hate when I do that. We'll grab that one, undo that one. We'll grab that one here. Here, let's go ahead and just turn off this this other one real quick because it's just in our way. Go to and get out of X-ray view. Out. Thank you. All right, there we go. So here, shift and control to here, shift and control to here. Okay. I want to look at my reference one last time. Yeah. Well, it's not going to matter in this case, but I'll correct it afterwards. So let me get out of here. Let's go to. I want to set this face right on the 0 axis for X. So E key, pull it on out. Let's go to the front face view. Let's come over here to the side and let's just set this on the global here. X axis 0 there. N key to make the panel go away. I changed the color of the edges in Blender for my Blender, and you can do all that. Hit Control S for save. You can do all that under the edit menu, preferences. Go to your themes here, then go to your 3D viewport. Right there, they're all here. They're all in here. You just have to come in here and play. You do. You just got to come here and play around and see what each of these mean. So I think it was here. Got this bone selected, but if you look at for some of what I did, face normals, but come to the top, there it is, wire edit right there. See that blue? Wire edit. And then if I'm not in edit mode, the wire is going to be green. So if I'm in object mode, the wire will be green. If I'm in edit mode, the wire will be blue. So I changed that. So in your Blender, yours is going to be a little bit different. If I go to object mode, I'm not showing the wire. See, there we go. See? In wireframe mode, and if I go back to solid, or if I come up to here and say show the wireframe, it's in green. It's just a nice little visual that I can use. Take another sip of my smoothie here. All right, I'm gonna turn off that wireframe because it's annoying. And take a look at what I've got. Okay, it's looking good. Let's just strategize. See if we can just pull these seats right out of the geometry that we've got. Go to my X-ray mode. All right, and let's go back to edit mode. So tab key, edit. There she is. So I suppose I could pull these seats off the faces of this geometry here. I can easily do it. Let's see where everything is. So there is one seat here. Let's go to the orthographic side view. And then starts here. Maybe I can use this here. I think what I'll do is I'll just add another slice right there. Okay. Slide it, click it, and it added a looped slice all the way around. That's important. I've got another loop slice here right behind it. Go to my side view again, double click it. As you can see, it's selected that loop slice. I got edge editing view, edge editing on. So I hit the 2 key on the top left-hand corner of my keyboard. And then double G it, and then slide it to match the thickness of my seat there. Okay, so I'm thinking pulling something from here. Let's see what I've got here. I got to go to my reference. Let's go ahead and turn that off. So we're basically creating a box here. So from that line to here, we're going to pull it out. Okay, let's see what we can do. And it does look like the seat actually comes up to that corner there. So we'll honor that. So we've got it here. We've got it here. So what I'm going to want to do is just go take a look, see how high the seat is. I got to outline at the top of the seat here. So go to here, right there. And I got to create an outline for this here too. All right. So Control R and create something right about there. So now I've got an outline for that seat. I think that's it. That's the only seat we've got, right? All right. So if I had planned this properly, I could have just extruded it all out at once, but I have to do it twice. All right, go over to here. Let's go outline the faces that we need. So it appears that what I want to do, I'm kind of looking at the angle of this. So go to my front face editing view. Looks like all this here. And shift and control to that there. That'll select that whole area. All right. I'm going to kind of do this a stupid way, but I want to make sure that is proper. Okay, good. All right. So I want to just kind of make the seat from this. So this is, the bottom's got to come up. And I'm going to start breaking some things. So I'm thinking about, that's just a flat area, so I can easily do it. All right, so that's what we'll do. Let's go. Let's see how far the seat comes up. The bottom of the seat comes to here. Now that's too much. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this out for the seat. Take that out. There we go. And let's see where the seat comes up. Right about there. Yeah, looks like. Let me bring it on back. So X-ray view, looks like it comes up to that top one. Extrude that straight on out of there. Extrude that straight on out of there. Okay, cool. All right, just thinking aloud here. And I'm just kind of strategizing as to what I might do. Seat's going to come straight out. So let me try this. Let me try Alt-E, extrude along normals. Okay, that'll work. Make sure that's where the top of the seat is coming up. Yeah. Okay. And I can probably easily solve this by, let's say, oops. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go back and yeah, I think we're going to have to do it this way. So I'm going to get out of this X-ray mode here. Let's turn this off real quick. Okay. All right. So basically, I'm going to extrude this on out. So I'm going to change the flow of the geometry a little bit. So let's start joining things here. So we got the top of the seat here. I got to bring that straight on out. So basically what needs to happen is all these faces here. Let's do this here. Let's bring it on over. And I need to get rid of these faces. So I'm going to exit out and I'm going to delete those faces. In fact, I'm going to also have to delete these faces. Okay. All right, let's bring it on closer and let's just join them real quick. I need to get rid of these points, these straight points here. Control X is dissolve. There we go. It's done. And I'm going to grab these points to here, hit the M key, merge at last one that I selected there. All right, and I'll just grab this one real quick. I could have just dragged them and used the magnet tool or something, but M key, merge at last. So I want them to go here to the last point. So it wasn't that many that I had to do. So select it, M key for merge at the last, and select key. Select that one, this one here, and then merge at the last key. There we go. We got our seat. Okay. Let's go select our faces. Control Shift. Got too many selected. Hit the Control key, select those out. And we're going to select the entire sides. So grab that, that, and that there. And we're going to flatten it out on the x-axis. So SX0 there. Hit the M key for numerics, and we're going to come over here and make sure it's flattened out. It's absolutely sitting on the 0 location. Okay. So from this point, I'm going to delete all these faces. So X key, those faces are gone. Y, because we're going to mirror it. Now, if I hit the 2 key, double click this edge here, I've got an edge loop. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That was why I deleted those additional faces in there, was to achieve this edge loop for the center of the orientation area. David Glenn, hey, here's the link to jump in and onto StreamYard Live. Welcome, David. Let me I'm copying and pasting here. Control V and paste. There you go. All right, so I'm keeping everything kind of quad based. There's David. David is in now. Good morning. And you are now added to the stream.
Hello. I'm trying to get
We're still waiting to hear your voice.
Trying to get a camera going. It isn't working.
Hey, David.
There it is. There he is. We can hear him now.
Okay. Like I said, I tried to get my camera to work today, and my NVIDIA broadcast has
you did promise us. You did promise us video today.
I said I promised you video by the first of the year.
Oh, okay, first of the year. All right, you got time.
I am going to get I am going to get progress in terms of getting at least one of the cameras that I'm looking for, but that's a specialty camera.
Okay.
The other one, it's either going to be one of my old cameras or one that I had that I'll probably purchase either new or used.
All right.
I know about, but yeah.
All right. Let me continue on here. I wanted to kind of see how. Yeah, this is all right. We got a few little problems and subdivisions, but it's not something we can't work out. All right. So we're gonna have to add a lot of little edge loops in here to control these edges in here. So yeah, it's all right. No big deals. We'll turn that off for now. Sometimes it might be better, honestly, just to model the seat separately. Assuming that the seat would have been built, in reality, will be built separately from the frame of the sleigh. Mm-hmm. It might be better just to do that, build the seat separately, and then stick it in there. But I'm trying to be as efficient as possible, and it's a good little modeling exercise. So I got my seat here. I'm going to select these two faces, and I want to flatten this out. So I'm flattening this out on the Z-axis. So S for scale, Z for the axis, 0, boom. That's nice and flat. Kind of keeps things honest here. Okay. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes. All right, so let's go back to our reference, take a look at that and see what's next. So I suppose I can start modeling this portion here. And I may want to do something different with this. Let's see. What do I want to think this through here? Because this portion wants to taper. It wants to become a solid object. Here, I'll show you. From what I'm seeing, it looks like the feeling I'm getting is that when it gets to, okay, why is my walking pin acting up now? Oh, great. All right, let's unplug it and replug it in again. Let's see if that solves it. Yeah, okay, that solved it. There it is. Okay, cool. All right. And I'll pull this around. So I'm looking at, let me go to my annotation, right about in here, this area coming out to here where it connects going this way. this almost feels like I want this to become one solid piece of geometry. Well, from the angle I was at, which was like this. All this should be one piece so that I can just extrude on up. Hit my control key, get rid of that. And I'm connected to streaming. So almost so I can just if this is one piece of solid geometry here. Gosh, come on, my pen is acting up here. It won't. It's connected to this streaming service. I can extrude up all the way across here. So I'll see how it won't be one solid piece because it's the way I modeled it, but I can treat it as if it's a solid piece. I think. All right, so let's go to X-ray view. Let's take a look at this. Maybe I can. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, yes, I can. I can do this one solid piece. Duh. All right, cool. All right, there we go. Let's get out of this this mode here, and let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go to my edge editing view, I can make a solid piece. So if I come over to here, double click, get these edges here. Let me kind of double click it. Blender needs to improve connection to the Wacom drivers. There we go. That whole section there, including this and this. See that? This section to the right of it's going to be my solid object. So all I need to do is go to the side view like this and double G it. Oh, wait a minute. What's happening? I forgot something. Something evidently I forgot. I didn't select something. Oh, I didn't. Didn't select the back. Duh. There we go. Okay. All right. Go back to my side view here. Double G it. And, oh, it's still doing it. Okay.
You might want to look over at the bottom, even though the top's selected.
Well, if I just move it manually, let's see. If I go to it manually, it's fine. It's the double G it. It's the sliding it doesn't like. So the sliding is reacting to the flow of the geometry once again. So I can pull it out of this, say right about here. I can use that face right there, the whole face, to extrude that on up. Okay, so going from the side view here. Now go to face editing view, select that top face, that entire thing. Now, not that. Right there, not that, right there. Let me see. If I go to the side view, yeah, let's do this. Let's go grab all these edges here, right there. Move that on over like that. Yeah, it's better. Because I can always take this edge and move it down. In fact, I'll just do it now. So grab that edge, just move it down like this, right? I'm going to start evening out the flow. Let me see, double click this one, double G it. Grab this edge here, it's on X-ray view. Yeah, that's sort of kind of spacing it out a little bit. Give it some breathing room. Okay. There's her face. So face editing view, grab this one, Go back to my side view again. Period key. Jump on in there and let's go have some fun with this one. So let's pull it out. Extrude, E for extrude. To here. And I think I'm going to change the angle. So R key for rotation. and kind of match that angle a little bit. That
Okay.
always respecting the flow. So go to the edge, respecting the flow of the piece. So boom, and then just drag it there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's always good to do some modeling stuff because everybody's always asking about do more modeling. All right. So grab that face there, E key, extrude it on up. Scale, S for scale. G for grab. I'll make sure I got this lined out right. S for scale. There. R for rotation. Kind of keep that flow there. Yep. E for extrude. R for rotation. S for scale. Let's see if I got the rotation right. Kind of maybe something like this. It's going to start rotating in this direction. E for extrude. R for rotation. S for scale. G for grab. Maybe a little more rotation like this. All right, so we weren't paying attention to our size, were we? No, we weren't. No big deal.
It got modified by the scale, probably.
Yeah, I got the scale modifier. All right, so that's no big deal. We'll go put it back. So what we'll do is go grab. Let's go grab. Yeah, we'll do it. We have to get out of this X-ray mode. So let's Shift H. Oops, didn't like it, did it? Alt H. Okay. Let's go back to my standard view. Go back to the. Just turn it off that way. That's easier. Okay. All right. So we'll go to the front view real quick. We will go to X-ray. Grab all those faces like this here. Yep, almost got all of them. Just missed 3. So shift key, grab those, scale it on the X. SX0. Boom, done. The same thing here. Now this here is an edge, but we have more than an edge. So I think I'm only one. Let me go double click this one. Edge view, edge editing. If I grab this, and let's try this technique. Right click, loop tools, flatten. There, it did it. Okay. It flattened. Now it's moved out a little bit. So, all right, I'll just manually pull it on over like that. Just kind of like go to the top view here. There we go. And go to X-ray view. Oh, what happened? There we go. You can see that. You can see that it's not flattened out from the top view. So right click, loop tools, flatten. Nope. Well, we'll just flatten it manually. So S key X0 there. Enter. And we've got it, everything lined up. That's how flexible Blender is. So if you screw up on something, you can always go back and correct it anytime.
Now you got to do your 0, the other edge.
The other edge, yep, that'll be easy because we want to zero that out on the 0 axis anyway. So that should be a loop, right? After we delete these faces. So face editing, grab this, grab all those, X key, get rid of those faces.
Okay, I think you did it. I think you did it right.
Okay. All right. So, and get my loop there. See, I got a loop. That's exactly what I want. From there, we're going to flatten it out on the x-axis, SX0, and now
Okay.
put it on the 0 location there.
Yeah.
We're done. Okay.
Yeah. Earlier on, it looked like you selected more than just those sides. So
Right.
I was
And it's
wrong.
easy to do. It's easy to select something you don't want selected.
Yep.
It drives you crazy.
It does.
Parsons, LightWave is your job. He says, any
Yeah.
LightWave on here? Yeah, that's your job, Parsons.
Well, yeah, but I wonder who's actually using it anymore.
Well, it's coming back. They're reviving it. I mean,
Yeah.
they are upgrading it, and it's worth keeping our eye on it. That's why I make this the LightWave Blender group, because
Yeah.
this LightWave is working hard to bring it to, I guess, industry standards.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a struggle because the users don't want to change. they don't. They don't
Yeah.
want to change,
Yeah.
but yet the LightWave group know they have to change. So
Hmm.
now they're struggling with how much to change and when.
Yes. Yeah. No, the reason why I posted that or asked that was just, because I was going to show LightWave stuff, but if there's no LightWave users on here.
No. Every week we have LightWave stuff. Like Karm comes in
I'm
usually.
a LightWave user.
Yeah, Karm will come in, and other people come in with LightWave, and they'll show LightWave. So we do both here. So you're going to be after break, we're just about getting ready to do break. Um, um, we'll let you do the LightWave stuff.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll upgrade as soon as I win the lottery and I can afford everything.
Yeah. Tell me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So all right, cool. Let's go play. So there we go. We got our basic frame, and this can work. This can work. The thing that bugs me is I should have just modeled the seat separately.
Yeah.
Because I think you can do a better looking model if you model the seat separately, and I still could. I mean, I could clean this up and close it up, and do the seat separate. Maybe I'll decide that later, but for now, we'll just kind of keep going. So I kind of got the basic frame going here. Now it's kind of add some of the detail stuff, I guess. So let's go ahead and start by adding a mirror modifier. Let's turn on the subdivision surfaces. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to come along. Maybe I did the right thing. Maybe I'm going to like this after all. Yeah. Let's turn on a reference. Okay, so we got to extend this up and out. Yeah. Okay.
You might have to add a extra edge to balance that out, balance the seat out.
Yeah, you're right. So here, right in here, I've got that extra edge right there. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We can put it out. So we're gonna get it back into our stupid little simple boxy shape by turning off the subdivision surfaces. And let me turn back on my reference real quick. Come on, turn on. Thank you. There we go. All right, extend this on up. So E key, extrude it. There we go, right to there. Looks like it curves up a little bit. So we'll just take this edge and just bring it up like that. And then we also have another little piece for the armrest here. So we're going to have to, I can probably bevel it out of here. I'm not going to do that. That's kind of it's a sloppy way of doing it. So what I'll do is go this view here. There we go. I suppose, can I move these edges back? I think this would be fine. I think these edges will be fine here. So if I just take these edges back, so go to my 2 key. I didn't mean to do that. I want to go back to solid view. 2 key, double click, double G. Slide it on back to there. Control R, place it to here where the other armrest comes out of. All right, and now I can do another extrusion. So face editing here, go grab that. Go back to my side view, E key, extrude up. Okay, and if here, I'm just going to go shift spacebar, grab the scale option and just scale on the X. Or I could have done it this way. I can do S key for scale and then Y key. Right. That'll be better. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Stupid, simple, boxy shapes.
And you might want to grab the face on the top of the seat.
Yeah.
And
right.
shift that back.
Absolutely right. All right. Let's go to the side view and we'll just hit the G key and Y. There we go. It's like kind of slants back slightly, actually. Okay, cool. So if let's get out of X-ray mode and let's just turn off this one here. And just turn the subdivision services. Yeah, see? We'll add some edge loops to clean up these edges in here.
Yeah.
Make it more exact to the model, and we should be okay. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's turn off sub Ds. Do that. Let's turn on the mirror modifier. We got to add it first. So add mirror, generate. Let's go to generate, go to mirror. Boom. All right,
What?
so my orientation is not where it needs to be. So I'm in edit mode. Grab the edge. Where should the orientation be? Right where that edge right is, right? So Shift S. The options for your 3D cursor.
I want to select the top of your seat.
What was that?
Right
Oh,
there.
that's true. Okay.
I'm pointing to it, and I know you can't see it.
Yeah. There we go. This has got to go, right? That's got to go. So go bye-bye. X key, face. Get it out of there. Now go to edge editing. Now we got it selected.
Yay.
Hey, there we go. So let's flatten this out again. So SX0. Okay. And N key. And it is on the 0 axis. So I'm good to go. Hit the N key to make that go away. Shift S, cursor to select it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now go to object mode. Very important. Select your entire object. Oh, I duplicated something. It's weird.
You still have that mirror on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention. You're right. I'm not paying attention. All right. So right click. Set the origin to what? The 3D cursor. Boom. There we go. There's our shape. There's our sleigh. Stupid, simple, boxy shape, but it's gonna in the end, it's gonna look pretty damn close to the one we created in triple.
Mm-hmm.
So break time, right?
Yeah.
Do a quick little break. We'll come back and just I'll do a quick little finish up on this, and then we'll go to Tim next. So, and Tim, you're welcome to share your screen too.
Okay, I don't want to share it quite now because I got something cooking here, but.
Well, okay, I won't show it. I won't put it live. It'll just be there so I can see it.
I don't know if I want you to see it.
Fine that way. Fine, it just be that way.
Oh.
Exactly. Okay, let me bring up the 15-minute timer. go. That's it. 15-minute timer. Go get my favorite one. That one right there. There we go. Okay, cool. We're going 15-minute break. Let's come back. I'll mute my mic temporarily and camera temporarily.
And I'll share my screen then.
Okay. It is that time. All right, let's go back to work. Turn that off. All right, let's see. Where are we now? Buster X66, welcome. Let's see who's all here that I can see on StreamYard. It's a lot more than here than this is showing. It's showing Buster 66. Welcome, Curtis Rhodes. Welcome, David Glenn is here. Mac Nonsense is here. Parsons is here. There's a whole bunch of others, but they're not showing up on the chat box thing. All right, so David Glenn, I'm adding you back to stage.
Yeah, I was trying to fix the my picture on SteamYard.
Okay. Yeah, my
SteamYard thing.
Yeah, my background is not working on StreamYard. It won't take out the background behind me, so even though I tell it to do so. I don't know. Maybe sometimes logging in and coming back helps, but I don't want to deal with that right now. So, all right. So let's see. Let me take a quick look at it. So we have the basics there. So now it's probably time to start thinking about detailing this out a little bit better. And Gary, okay, Gary. So Gary, you're trying to log in. You have to have your microphone activated before you can come in.
True.
All right, got to have it activated. So it says device is not connected on my end. Okay, there we go. Something just happened. I'm adding you to stage now. Gary, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. I can hear you. How are you? Well, not okay. Now you're back. You disappeared and now you came back.
Won't let my camera work.
I don't know. Let's see. Check in that little gearbox in the bottom of StreamYard. Click on it, and then go to your camera and make sure you have the proper camera selected. So on the left-hand side, it'll say what camera you want to use. So drop it down and make sure your camera is in that choice. All right. So okay, I'm gonna add you back to stage again. I keep losing you for some reason.
Yeah, my camera isn't available for some reason.
Now that it may be a StreamYard thing today. Normally StreamYard's pretty flawless about bringing that in, but maybe today it's just having a little problems. But we can hear your voice.
Okay.
Cool. And what would you like to share? Gary?
I'm just here to watch.
Well, okay. Well, this point now. Were you on Twitch?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Twitch is to watch. This is for when you actually want to share something.
Oh, okay.
So unless unless you have something to share where we can share your computer screen and you can show everybody what you're doing and
Blender. I can show you guys what I've been doing on my latest job.
All right, that'll be cool. I tell you what, let's let Tim Parsons go first. So I want you to share your screen, and you'll see a picture of a monitor down the bottom. And click that monitor symbol and share your entire screen. And then when I'm ready for you, I'll have it there handy, and I'll click it and turn it on. So since we got additional people to show that they could, yeah, Tim's is there. Tim's just sharing a screen now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then we're going to let Tim go. Since we have additional people, we'll come back to the Sleigh in a little bit. So I'm going to remove me. I'm going to add your screen, Tim. There.
Okay.
Oh, I see the chairs.
Yeah. So I'm on?
Yep, you are on live.
Okay. So this is LightWave 2025.0.3.
Cool. Awesome.
Latest version that's available. So I wanted to show you a new feature, possibly a new feature. How's that?
Hmm.
So, LightWave is known over the years to have, a really fantastic render engine. But in 2018, when they went to the PBR workflow, things slowed down considerably, or that's kind of what it feels like. Things have slowed down, and I think they did because the engine changed. But now there's some new technologies out there that I think are making some progress in that area. Number one, uh, LightWave now comes with Octane standard, so out of the box, you have GPU rendering with Octane. I haven't got into Octane. Uh, it uses different materials and a different setup. It's kind of like Octane uh, for 3D Studio Max or any other tool. So it has a whole set of. It's not like Blender. Blender is cool in the fact that the materials are all the same. If you want to use GPU, you just say GPU. If you want to use CPU, you just say CPU.
And there was an Octane for Blender.
Oh yeah, there is, and
Yeah.
it has its own stuff too. So anytime you add Octane to your digital content creation package, you got to deal with the Octane materials and so on and so forth. So I've kind of shied away from it because I spent so much time in the LightWave materials and stuff. So I've kind of shied away from it. And with the render engine being somewhat slow, about a year ago, I went ahead and just bought a rendering PC. Now, what I'm showing here today, this is not my rendering PC. This is an i7 8086. It's 8 years old. It's only 6 cores, so 12 rendering threads. So it doesn't render very fast at all. And I can prove it to you that it doesn't render very fast at all by this right here. That took 32 minutes and 10 seconds to render this. Now, if you take a look at it closely, you're going to see noise all over the place. And I got depth of field on here, and I've never ever done in-camera depth of field for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is it was always so costly in render time. So it's always better, and it's better anyway just to do it in post. Have it render out a depth map than use your other applications to create the depth of field effect. But in this case, I got this new little widget, and I thought, let's try some in-camera depth of field in LightWave's native render engine. So as you can see, we got noise, and then our depth of field is kind of, it's not the greatest. And you always had to really crank up camera samples to get depth of field. And you can see I got 32 camera samples for the depth of field. And even then, it's not that great. Plus, you still have all this noise. So I'm going to show you what I can do to possibly speed up the rendering time and get some decent depth of field. Okay. And we all know samples mean time. The more samples you add, the more time it's going to take to render. That's no matter what.
True.
The thing about LightWave is the camera samples end up multiplying all the other samples. So if you have, this is what I understand anyway. So if I have,
Now, doesn't LightWave have denoise?
it does. It has a GPU denoiser,
Okay.
and that's standard out of the box. And let me pull that up right there. So yeah, so you have noise filter GPU. Okay, I'm not using that. They haven't updated that. Okay, that's still 2020. In other words, it's 5 years old, so that hasn't been updated. But there are some things that is being worked on in the background to kind of maybe offset that uh, offset that a little bit. So yeah, so I got 32 camera samples and I got 32 global illumination samples. And then my lights have some samples. I got 16 samples on an area light and 16 samples on an environment light. And in render, I have 6 reflection samples. So what I'm going to do to speed this up is I'm going to cut down on my samples. Okay. And this is a 2K render. So it's 2458 by 1027. It's what is it here? It's a custom camera, custom resolution, but it kind of has the your widescreen look to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop that camera sample down to 1. And I'm going to go here to the global illumination. I'm going to drop that down to, let's say 4. And this environment light, let's drop that all the way down to 2. And the area light to 2. And I think that's about right. So I'm going to go ahead and render this out. And let's hope for the best here. Let's open this up so you can see it. So the first go around was, like I said, 32 minutes and 10 seconds. Now this is coming in quite a bit faster. And you'll see that it's considerably faster, 16 seconds. Man, that's very doable. We could animate with that. And again, this is an old machine, so it's not the fastest rendering machine anyway. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the magic button. Okay. Now I can't really show you the interface of the magic button because it's all in beta right now. But I'm going to hit the magic button, and we're going to see what happens.
I like magic buttons.
Yeah. So we're going to do the same thing. Didn't change the setting. The only thing I did is hit the magic button.
The magic button.
The magic button. Yeah. So it looks like it's coming in pretty much the same render time. And there's complete.
Boom.
Oh, wow.
The magic button did its thing.
I like the magic button.
Do you like the magic button? I like the magic button too. So yeah, we've gone from this to this at 32 minutes, 10 seconds to 19 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I can honestly say I like it. Now, what is the magic button? Well, the magic button is if you're on the LightWave Discord channel, follow Matt C. That's Matt Christo. He's working on a couple things, and he has shown some of it there. I got something else here to show you. This is a 4K render that it's 4608 by 3072 pixels, and it rendered in 3 minutes 34 seconds. Now, what's cool about that is, like I said, I've never done in-camera depth of field because it was always so costly. But now you can see there's hardly any cost to doing it at all. And you get a beautiful DOF in the back, and all for the same amount of time. And it does add a little bit. Well, actually, it's a little less time I see, but there is a little bit of overhead to the magic button, but it's not terrible. I also have another magic button, and I can share that too. I won't show you the interface for that as well, but let's just say it's pretty in depth. And it's really nothing that nobody's familiar, everybody's familiar with it. Blender has all this stuff. But now we have some effects. And in this particular case, we have a little vignette effect, and it shows up in VPR. We have some color grading stuff we can do. It's all very interesting. I would love to show you this interface. There, you saw it.
No, we didn't.
I'll show it to you again. It is in depth. Okay, I mean, it's unbelievable. Actually, it's almost too much stuff. Okay,
it's a nodal system.
No, it's not nodal. But fortunately, there's a ton of presets, and you can create your own presets, and then the author has also added a bunch of presets. And again, this is another Matt Christo thing. Whether or not any of these are going to be available soon, I cannot say. I do not know. There's still some work that needs to be done to them. But it's looking pretty interesting. And I like the fact that, this kind of thing shows up in VPR as well. And I'll just go ahead and render this out too. There's not much overhead to this at all as far as, the rendering time. It should render basically the same amount of time. And again, there's no way I would do this in camera, but it's just kind of fun to have it. So if you have a client, that is looking over your shoulder and you want to just whip something up real quick to give them an idea what something might look like, you can do it in camera, but it's definitely not best practice to do any of these effects in camera. It's always best to do it in your compositor or Photoshop or whatever you use. So you can see the before and the after. So, I'm having fun playing with it and, helping him, work out the bugs. It's definitely not ready yet because one of the things it doesn't do, nothing gets saved with the scene yet. So, that's just a little thing.
Slight little issue there. Yeah,
just a little issue, but
it will be fixed.
And he's just he's got a full-time job. He's just kind of doing this on the side, and
it's a side hustle.
Yeah, and whether or not it's going to be included with LightWave, at some point, or it's going to be a third-party thing, I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't know what LightWave Digital is doing in regards to any of this type of stuff. But I would imagine they might be working on something similar, or they might just say, "Hey, let's incorporate this and be done with it," because it works very well. But yeah, I've had render times really drop, and again, something like this on my other box, it's probably a 1 or 2 second render.
I got a question.
Okay.
Is this using the traditional LightWave render engine, or is this something in Octane?
No, this is all native LightWave, native LightWave rendering engine. So it's
this is something
CPU.
that is, yeah. So this is something that is being done within the LightWave engine. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm glad because I really like the materials in the LightWave rendering engine.
Well, the thing I like about it is they're very, very familiar with me. I've used them for years.
Yeah, and here's the material setup for these chairs. Now, these chairs are all the same, and it's the same material on all the chairs. The only reason why they're different colors, I got a color gradient here, and it's using an item ID to just vary the chairs. Let me go ahead and close this, and you can see that if I move these around, the chairs will just change colors randomly.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. You can even animate this effect, so the chairs could change colors over time. But yeah, so this is a very simple node setup, to do that, and the materials themselves, they're it's a standard BSDF principled, shaders, just like Blender. I mean, I go in and out of Blender, and all the stuff's pretty much the same, as far as the thought process behind it and things like that. And I don't know how many of you are following Discord, the LightWave Discord channel. Let me just bring that up, and I'll show you something else that's very, very interesting that another user is putting together. Let's go.
I like that picture.
Let's see if I can find it here. Yep, this is it right here. So what we have, Chunderberger, I have no idea who this fella is. He's working on a LightWave to Blender, back and forth type. I don't know if it's a plugin or what it is, but it's a bridge, I guess.
Right.
And he's got materials going back and forth and everything. It's
the materials should be the same. If I remember correctly, LightWave is doing PBR texturing.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but
so it should all be the same.
There's some differences, I'm sure, within SDK or whatever that he's got to figure in. So this is a standard LightWave scene that was in the content folder from back in, I don't know, 2025 or something.
Yeah, this is an old one.
Yeah, and so he's been kind of using that to test, and you can see some of his coding here, or actually it's Mike Wolf has chipped in some coding to help him out. So it's kind of a little bit, well, here you can see right here, you got Blender over here, and you have LightWave over here, and you see he's got, it's pretty good. Let me make this bigger. You can see that it's pretty much a one-to-one, as far as the textures, and he's got a cubic map on this, and it looks like it's a cubic map over here.
If we only had something like that for Unreal Engine.
Oh, well, I actually showed that on one of our meetings, a couple of years back, the bridge. I can show it again. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I won't show it today because I'd have to use my other PC for it.
Okay.
So yeah, so I don't know what, but you can see all the stuff he's, here's another screenshot. This is some more old content that was on, that LightWave provided back in the day. So you can see it here, over here on LightWave, and over here in Blender. So it's pretty exciting. He's apparently he's able to get bones to go back and forth, uh, envelopes, all kinds of stuff. But go here and check it out and read up on it. It's pretty interesting if you're still a LightWave user, and like I said, I'm predominantly LightWave, but I've been using Blender here and there, especially for some things that LightWave either can't do or can't do very well. But most of my client work now, I started with LightWave, and to kind of keep everything going, I got lots of content, lots of stuff, reusable stuff that I use. It's kind of hard for me right now to, switch over to Blender. And to be honest, I'm, you guys have known me for doing, this kind of stuff. Well, I haven't done this kind of stuff now in a year and a half. I just opened up this old scene to, kind of test this. But I haven't been doing any ArchViz stuff for a year and a half, but I've been mostly doing, and all I did was stills back in the day when I was working for the furniture company. Is all I did was this furniture stuff and stills, very, very, very little animation. But now seems like all I'm doing is animation, and it's like technical animation, showing, how a device works or something like that. And the rendering, I'm not concerned about rendering time. I had my other box I used to render with, and it's 80 cores, or 80, I should say 80 threads. And, my render times are, seconds, so I don't really worry about render time anymore, especially for the type of work that I'm doing. Now, if I had to animate something like this in 1080, I would strongly consider moving it probably into Blender, to maybe, animate it faster. But actually, with that other box that I have to render, those type of frames would probably render in 2.5 minutes on that box, and I can live with that. Just because, number one, right now my clients, I'm getting all kinds of time to do this stuff. And the deadlines are very, very long.
Well, that must be nice.
It is. I mean, it's 4, 5, 6 months.
Oh my gosh, you get paid to do that?
Well, but I'm not working on it 24/7. I'm just dinking around, and in case you didn't know, I'm also beta testing stuff. Software for LightWave and various other people. So yeah, it keeps me busy, and I'm having fun with it. But anyway, yeah, I wish I could show you the magic button, the actual physical buttons, but I probably shouldn't. But I tell you what, you can go on Discord and you can see him. He puts up some screenshots, but generally speaking, they're already outdated. So, but yeah, it's Matt C on Discord. You could do a search there, and you could see what he's working on. But yeah, anyway, that's basically all I have to show, unless there's some questions or anything.
Okay, looking at the chat box, and no questions.
But yeah, you can see, how much noise. This is VPR, and it's done rendering, and you can just see how much noise is in the VPR, and really, as far as the rendering kernel, I mean, it's a pretty fast rendering engine, but you know, with the PBR and uh, the GI and everything, you know, you get the noise, and it's just something that a CPU, you know, is kind of slow to deal with. You know, GPU whip through that stuff pretty quickly. Just out of curiosity, let's go ahead and try the GPU. The GPU image denoiser here. This would be the LightWave native GPU tool. Let me get it up on my screen here so you can see it. There it is. So and that's just a button. All it is, you just hit that and turn it on, and it uses optics, NVIDIA optics, and you can see it even works in VPR. It cleans it up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So it does a pretty decent job. But this other thing that I'm showing, and maybe I will. Oh, I didn't mean to show you that, but there it is, real quick. Okay, but it's a different technology, uh, and this one does a pretty decent job. But again, it's older, uh, and it depends on kind of the content too. Uh, you know, maybe some other scene might be better or might be worse. See, there it did a pretty nice job.
Yeah.
Now, the issue that some of these have is animation. A lot of the denoisers aren't really designed for, you know, the change of, you know, from one frame to the next. And it requires a temporal denoising algorithm. And uh, that's something that, you know, I know is being worked on. Uh, Actually, what you don't see on here is this is an animated sequence right here. The camera, I got it on frame 60 right now, but what changes actually is the depth of field. I have, you know, I have the focus change. You can see here that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
focus in on this area here now and everything else. And the camera's not moving, but I just was doing a test, you know, to kind of see how it handled uh, any kind of movement, not camera movement, but you know, like frame, you know, frame movement and depth of field movement. If you look at my camera here, I even have uh, I have the lens focal length in an envelope too. You can see here how
Mm-hmm.
the camera zooms in here on this very last frame. And basically I run a test to kind of see, and you know, currently, yeah, there's flickering, you know, and it's not the greatest, but it's just something that both NVIDIA, because that's what you know, this tool is an NVIDIA denoiser right here. So it's nothing that uh, LightWave Digital created. They just put, you know, the NVIDIA denoiser in it, but they haven't updated it. It's still the old one from 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got so many irons in the fire right now. You know, they bought LightWave, you know, and you know, try to get, you know, product out right away to, you know, get some money flowing, and they're just behind the curve in so many ways because, you know, LightWave basically sat for 3 years without getting any development, and then it gets bought, so then they got to get some devs on board, and you know, they I guess they got a couple of the devs that previously worked on LightWave, but then they got some new devs that, you know, they got to get familiar with the, you know, with the ins and outs of it. And from what I understand, it's, you know, they're working on a kind of a total rewrite to get like USD in it and get open color control in it and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, as long as they don't revisit the core.
Yeah. I don't see that happening.
That was such a mess. They basically, to clarify that, they years ago they tried to incorporate QT as an interface and as a paradigm into LightWave, and they had so much. It was a pain in the rear. I know because I've used QT myself.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they were doing it is because Autodesk had redid Maya in QT.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing. This is a QT panel.
Uh-huh.
This is a QT panel. That's that in 2018. That was the whole shading thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of the panels now they even like this, the preference panel, that's QT. They are moving to QT. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to going to QT.
Oh yeah, particularly nowadays. But I'm talking about this was like 5-10 years ago, and there was a big, huge shift, and that in the paradigm in QT, and I ended up having to rewrite a whole bunch of stuff for the Navy, and that was not, I lost a lot of popularity with the Navy over that one. Yeah. And because I was the one that recommended us for all their tools to be redone in QT, and it was at the same time when NewTek was exploring core QT for the core, and there were just honestly they were all just overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
Me, I had a very patient boss and a lot of time on my hands to study it. And that was the only reason why I was successful in it. And the core happened.
Yeah.
So the core, wasn't that the development where they were trying to unify modeler and layout?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, that's what I mean by
amongst other things. They were basically they were trying to Autodesk had redid Maya into the QT paradigm. Of course, they have the money and the resources to do stuff like that, and a lot. And NewTek is NewTek has had a slightly better budget than I did. They had like 4 or 5 programmers working on this thing, and my bosses had me and one other guy working for that. And later when they went to, I think they went to QT 4 to 5 and 5 to 6. I don't know if we did 5 to 6 or not, but anyway, there was some changes to it, but it was a lot less dynamic from 3 to 4. And I apologize. I'm putting on my hacker's hat right now and not my Blender LightWave hat. But that was
these panels are a version of QT5, and I do know that they're moving to 6. There was a lot of changes in 6, and they that's the new standard now, so they got to move everything.
I loaded 6, but now I do a lot of my interface. I do so much stuff in QT. I'm not QT, but in Unreal, because that's what everybody wants to render in now. And a few other, and I've gotten so much demand on the media pipeline right now and other stuff that I haven't touched QT in about a year or so. It's just like things been.
So if that's anything else you wanted to share?
Yeah.
Not me, no.
All right. So we have Gary, who's also would like to share. So Gary, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Great. Go ahead and share your screen.
Let's see.
Look at it's a picture of a monitor with a plus in the middle.
Share screen.
Thank you, Tim. That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem. Hopefully, in a couple of months, I'll have, some details I can share with you.
Okay. All right. So there we go. I'm adding Gary's image to the stage. Gary, you are live. Take it away.
There you go.
Introduce yourself and share who you are, and so everybody gets to know.
So Steve kind of knows who I am. I've been taking his classes for about a year now. I am a traditional sculptor, model maker from the toy industry.
Awesome.
And a couple of years ago, I started working for a museum that's they're doing the world in HO scale. Not every bit of the world, but different parts of the world. And so there's a lot of model making involved. When I came on board with them, I was mostly a fusion person and doing flat surfaces and very controlled CNC'd or lasered things. Fusion's pretty good at that, but when you get to something like what I have on the screen here that's more organic, I can do it in Fusion, but I'd rather not.
Yeah, you need subdivision surfaces.
Yeah, I mean, like these guys here, the ducts for the fans, I could do in Fusion. The fans themselves, I could do in Fusion, but the fuselage is very tricky in Fusion. I would probably take me a full week to do this in Fusion properly. I did this in about 8 hours, which is a huge boon to me and my bosses. The idea here, so this museum is called Miniature World. They have a working airport in HO scale. And currently, a robot taxis traditional airplanes around the airport and then lines them up on the runway and hands them off to another robot that takes them down the runway and into a little elevator that brings them around and they come back in for landing. So the powers that be decided drones. And they want to have independent flying drones that not only will take off and land from the airport, but visit the other models in the museum. So they had me mock up a futuristic, quote unquote, luxury passenger liner that the idea is that this would take long distance trips around the museum. And then I'll do another one that's going to be a little bit smaller and for like small passengers. And those will go off to the different model displays in the museum. So there's Lower Manhattan, there's the Middle East, there's a little bit of Russia. It's kind of a faux St. Petersburg. There's bits of Asia that we're doing. I'm trying to think of what else in there. South America. So a bunch of different places for them to go. And we'll put FPV cameras in the front so that the visitors to the museum can also experience flying through the models by looking at monitors around the place. So with Steve's classes, I've gotten, I think, fairly good at doing this. It still needs a little bit more work. It's bisected for 3D printing, but when I get the actual drone frame that will make this fly, we'll have to do some more parting out to be able to fit this and attach it to the frame properly. And then the fans will and the motors will probably change as well because they don't have that part for me yet. So that's kind of that in a nutshell.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So have you gotten the propellers to move yet?
The propellers will move. They are independent, so they print separately. And I also set up the fans. Great. We have a little. I guess because we're sharing screen, it's slowing my blender down.
Yes, it will.
So the fan shrouds are also separate parts currently as well. I think I'm going to have to split these down the middle as well so that we can get wires and stuff in when the housing changes for the electric motors.
Great. Now, Gary is also part of my advanced Blender modeling class, and I will put the link into the chat box for that.
Is this 187 scale?
This one is, yeah. If you notice, there's a little cube in the window here. Oops. So that little cube is representational of an HO scale person.
Okay.
So that way I have kind of a gauge to monitor the scale. So if this were blown up to real life, it'd carry about probably 100 passengers. Mm-hmm. And they want to, let's do this. Whee. In the back, we've got a little observation deck. We'll probably do a little tiny model with people and a little lounge and everything that you can see in. The other windows will probably get blacked out because the inner workings of the drone, the battery and the CPU and all that make it fly will be in that area. But we should have enough room in the back, I think, to add a little extra detail. In the models themselves, we try and do a lot of that sort of stuff where there's like little stories going on with the individual buildings and open spaces of the model.
What you need is a home for a camera, so they could show the audience what when it flies around, they can show the audience from say a cockpit view or
exactly. So we'll probably put an FPV camera in here that'll transmit to a monitor somewhere around the museum, so you can see the tour that the aircraft takes through the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My big worry about doing drones is the high frequency whine that they make. I don't know if that's going to be too annoying for people or not. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of a software company called, they've been in the news lately. It's called Duolingo.
Yeah.
They have a character named Lily, sort of like this goth girl, and she speaks different languages, and she was a icon in the product. One of the jobs that I had over the past year was to create. I was working with this guy who was he does RC cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He runs a thing called Silverdale Hobby called Silverdale Hobby, where he builds models. And he came up to me with an interesting proposition of me building a car model, which was a convertible. And on in the seat, I did a little. I did the character of Lily. There, and this was originally for Duolingo's convention circuit. They do the convention circuits about this time,
Mhm.
And I don't know whatever happened, but all of a sudden that kind of got pulled. And I heard something about, problems with the CEO and stuff, and people were really angry. And I won't get into that because I'm not in. This isn't for politics, but uh, and, and I was only a third party on this thing. I wasn't involved with Duolingo, but that was one of the things I kind of got involved. And how I got involved in it is because he knew I did a lot of 3D printing. I
Mhm.
almost got a free resin printer out of that one,
Oh, nice.
but he was going to cover me for it. But that didn't happen. That got pulled very abruptly.
Mm.
But hey, at least I got paid.
There you go. That's good.
Always good to get paid.
That's one of the things that I was doing that I couldn't discuss until now.
Oh, wow. All right, Gary, that is wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing it in completion.
I would love to see this fly. I'm kind of excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah, that would be great. I created a drone for another client, a drone concept. Um, Unfortunately, it's something I can't show anybody because of NDA. But
Mhm.
this is really fun.
Yeah, NDA's kind of switched me a lot. That
Yeah,
and classified.
can't include it in your portfolio. Yeah, you want to
But
show it, but you can't.
so far, the museum hasn't made me sign any NDA stuff, and if I have to hunt one of you down, I will.
Yeah, no, the Gary knows exactly where to find me. He'll just Gary's very patient. He'll just wait. He'll just wait to Wonderfest.
There you go.
I'm actively looking to see if I can do at the very least, a rendering of Lily, because I want to be able to add that to my portfolio.
Okay.
I think that'd be a great thing to do. That's kind of a silly, stupid things, but yeah, that company is or was, I don't even know if they're still even in business anymore. But that would be a nice little trophy to add to my portfolio,
Yeah.
and even 3D print it possibly.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the toy industry stuff I did before I started doing digital, I have very little that I can show of it because all the NDAs are still in effect for all that stuff.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, like this, I was doing it for I was doing this as a third party. So there's certain things that I have to go back, not just to my old bosses over at the hobby place, but also to go with the original client itself because it's a copyrighted item.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is great. So yeah, we would appreciate if you would, when you do little projects like this, you come back and share with us.
Yeah, I suspect I'll have a lot more from the museum to share. So.
All right. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'll see you tomorrow for class.
Yes, you will.
Okay. All right. So that's anybody else want to share anything else or? All right. I guess we can go back. We got a little bit of time left. We can go back to our Santa sleigh, I suppose. And I will go ahead and share my screen. There she is. All right, we got to do the bottom portion here, which is basically the feet. I call this or the ice.
The feet.
Yeah, the feet, and then of course the bridge to the bottom bracket. So we got to create the brackets too. And let's go on and make that happen. So this is a really poor, it's a low quality 3D render. Let me get out of here, go back to my solid view. And just a reminder, if we take a look at our 3D object that we had brought in from Triple, let's go over here to edit mode. That's kind of basically it. If we told it to do all quads, which it did. That's a good thing. But even then, it's just so inefficient. It didn't really render the detail as we like. So that's why we're kind of rebuilding this to match our original. We'll get it looking pretty good also. All right, let's get out of here and go lock that off, kind of lock the layers off, go back to not the sleigh, but the feet. Okay. And let's go ahead and follow that. So looking at the feet, let's see if we can actually, we should be able to model this straight from the feet itself. Let's go into edit mode. And this is pretty much one straight face all the way across. So we're going to have to start thinking about, let's see if we take this out of X-ray mode, see what we got here. Going to the inside. And what's nice about the workflow of just modeling just half the damn models, just takes a lot of stress off you. Okay, so I think we can pull something from here. So let's bring in some slices. I want to place the slices dead center of these three larger connectors here.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, let's see what we can do. Let's go to the side view here, go to orthographic view. I use it a lot, orthographic view. Control R and just slide one dead center and set it there. Control R again, put one over here, dead center of this particular connector. Oops. And Control R to the far right-hand side and dead center it right about there. So now we've got three separate ones. Double click, I'm in edge editing view, so double click them. So I've got all the edge loops selected. Let's see if I go to X-ray mode, that'll make things a lot easier. Now Control B for bevel and just do them all one time. So that's about right there. Okay. So I think we can model something from this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we can do something from this. So what I want to do is I like to have this particular shape that gives me a lot of flexibility. And let me show you what that shape is. Let me just get a plane, or no, I'll just get a cube. I'll get a cube just as an example. So Shift A, go to cube. Cool. All right, go to my G key and Y. Let's move it over here. All right. So if I come into here into edit mode for the cube, there's a shape that I like to use. So I could do things like select the face, right? Select the face. I, E, stuff like this from a single face. But I find that I get the most flexibility if I maintain a particular a structure. So let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. That structure is, if I subdivide this once, it's this four-face structure. I like this. So in my advanced modeling class, we're going to talk about this philosophy, this four-face structure philosophy. it gives me a lot of flexibility. Well, what flexibility does it give me? Well, let's see. If I grab this edge and this edge here, right, I can scale it out in such a way where if I hit the S for scale, no, it didn't do them. Okay, hold on a second. It's not what I wanted to go. There we go. That other one wasn't selected. Okay, S for scale, I can turn it into more of a circular pattern. I can go square, I can go circular, I can go something like a star. It gives me a little flexibility. Okay. So from this flexibility, let's grab these faces here. I can do anything I want. So I key for inset, right? E key for extrude, right? E key for extrude again. Go to the side view, R key for rotate. All right. E key for extrude.
Mm.
And then, oh,
You lost it.
I lost it. Undo it. E key for extrude, R for rotate. Okay. So it gives me some flexibility. So if I want to go into, let's go get this face here. Go get these edges here. Go to the edge editing mode. Just these edges right about here. I want to hit Control Shift key. All right, and hit the S key for scale. I can start manipulating this into other shapes. Now, grab those faces again. Right, E key extrude. All right, R for rotate a little bit. E for extrude. R for rotate. Well, extrude again. R for rotate. G for move, for grab. Do one more. E, rotate. Okay, so it gives me some flexibility to model. So I like those types of. I like that type of setup. All right. This sleigh is also very small. So if you're going to bring this into Unreal Engine, it's not going to, the proportions aren't going to be right. So let's get the proportions right, which I don't remember doing from the very beginning. But to get the proportions right, Shift A, go over here to my armature, go get Rigify Meta Rig, go to human. See, there's my human guy. That's the human height. That's 1.9 meters in height. And if you doubt it, we will go to the front view. Okay. And we will come over and grab this measure tool right there. And if we grab it from the feet up to the head, and it's 1.9. Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I need. So I'm going to go. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to turn off the lock layer here. And I'm going to lock him. Okay, I don't need to mess with him. But what I'm going to do is, let me undo that. Just hit the delete key. Oops, wrong one. I wanted that one over here. Whatever I have. Okay. Locked character.
That was your trouble.
Yeah. Grab these. Oh, I did it again. Delete key. Get out of that tool. Thank you. Grab all that there, and we're just going to resize it up. So S key. See about how big is that. Look at my guy. That look about right?
It's pretty close.
That's that's pretty close. Probably a little bit bigger.
If you want to.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. So S key. And about.
It's Santa's sleigh. You want to have some majesty
Well, that's kind of big. kind of big, so I got to bring it down a little smaller. So there we go.
One at Cadillac size.
Something. I don't know. It's still. I always picture his knees coming up to the front, but if you want some space in there, I guess. And you got another guy sitting next to him, I think that'll work just fine.
His elves are rather small, and Santa's rather chumpy, so bear that in mind.
All right, so I applied the scale. So Control A, I apply rotation and scale to this. Now, just to make sure, hit the N key to bring back a numerics panel.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta pay attention to our scales, because click on the Sleigh, this is 1 to 1 to 1, and the feet 1 to 1 to 1. Everything else that looks good. So everything's 1 to 1 to 1 ratio. Okay, now we're good. I'm gonna Control S, save it. I don't need my guy anymore, so I will just let's see. He's actually locked down, right? So I'll just turn him off. Okay, turn him off visually. Let's go back to our feet. There's my feet. And let's go back to modeling. So tab key, edit mode. N key, get that panel out of the way. Cool. All right. So if you guys don't remember how I modeled the actual feet, just watch last week's video. Where is last week's video? It's on our official YouTube channel. So where do you find that? Here, I'll bring it up here. So youtube.com. And let's go to our Blender channel there. Yeah, we're there already. So view my channel. This is it. So I'm going to put this link in the chat box. The official Blender 3D YouTube channel. So all of these presentations that we do in the morning is here. So this one right here is last week's. So watch that one on how we started to build this thing. Okay. All right. So now the reason I showed you that workflow is because I've got this nice long face here. It's a single face. I can utilize this edge here. Here, let me go over this way. Kind of go to my little move option. I can utilize this edge here for the center, and all I need to do is put one more down the middle here. So Control R, double click it. We're going to do that to every single section here. Okay, so R. So what this tool does, or what slicing tool does, is it will automatically Control R, slice it dead center automatically. So double click it. That's where I wanted to sit. Do the last one over here. Okay, so Control R, double click. Okay, there we go. Now we got our faces. We got our extra faces. Now from this, what I'm going to do is strategize. See, it's coming right off the edge there. So let's get out of that mode. And let's turn off the reference just temporarily there. So what I'm thinking of doing is grabbing maybe these faces here. I think I can do this with these faces here. Or better yet, maybe with all of these faces here. All right, let's take a look at my reference. David, you might want to mute your mic. You're hearing a lot of noise back there.
I have mine mic mute.
There we go. So yeah, I think I can use those 4 right in here for this. I think that'll be fine. That'd be perfectly fine. All right, so we're gonna go grab these 4. So go to 1 and then Shift and Control, grab all of those.
Yeah, I think the only thing background you'll get out of my mic is all these cars in the background. I
Yeah,
muted because there was a motorcycle just roving right through.
and key typing too. Trust me, I'm totally
I'm
guilty.
not key typing. I'm watching you.
Okay, good. So here, I'm gonna go to the front 3 here. Let's go to the. Yeah, I guess we're gonna do that. I'll go the other way. Kind of hard to see what I'm gonna do here. All right, I think I'm just gonna hit the E key and just pull it on up and out like this. Yeah. All right. So then I'm going to do next is I'm going to flatten this out. I should be able to accomplish that with a Loop Tools flatten. Yes, it did it. All right. And then just go to that front view again. I'm going to go right up. Yeah, up here somewhere. Grab it. It's coming. I got to go. There we go. I'm going to go. I'm starting from the front, huh? It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go to my side view. Let's match the side. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I've got another challenge. Not much of a challenge, just another workflow here. So I need to flatten out this top. So let's go ahead and do that now. So go to my front view like so. All this stuff is in the way. If you get stuff like this in the way, see this big long piece there, it's just visually in the way.
Yeah.
Select it like this.
Hide.
Except for this one here. H, hide it. Gone. Now I can go to Control R. There we go.
And now we can see what you're doing.
Yep. So we'll bring it on up. Grab that face there. Match this a little bit better. I think what might help this as well is if I go to maybe not. No, I'm getting too anal, so I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. Let's go to the top view and focus on that. Okay, I'm gonna flatten this out. So it's a couple ways I can do it. I can use the standard flattening out technique, or if I want to keep it within these dimensions, within this thickness, I can come over and hit my Shift space bar. I can come down and grab the shear tool there. And what that does, if I get in close, is it allows me to shear this within that shape. Once I get it to here, maybe it did an okay job. I'm gonna have to probably make it a little bit larger up here. So S key, Y axis. Watch it. Let me commit this one here, and Shift space bar. I'm gonna go just kind of take it, just put it into the move tool. So S key and then the Y axis. Okay, why is it not scaling? What's this up here? Medium point, that's correct.
Yeah.
Do it this way, go to scale. Okay, just move it like that's what I want. All right.
So much for the key commands.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know why that wasn't working. Okay, taking a look at this. All right, now we're gonna spin off from here another support structure right underneath going to the inside. And we're gonna take it here. So let's see. That looks like, oh, you know what? That's wrong, isn't it? I need to bring this over. So hit the G key. Is that going to here? Or is it two separate? That's the structure there. Right about there. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, there we go. That's right. Okay. I think what I'll do also is go back to that front view, go grab the edge, hit the number 2 key on the keyboard, grab this edge here, pull it out so it kind of evens out the thickness here. All right, let's go ahead and put an edge in here. So we're going to pull another edge just right off this shape. So Control R there, bring it on up to here. Let's see if we can get the loop tools to do the job for us. Probably not.
Give it a shot.
Flatten, it did okay. So we'll hit our S key, Z key, 0. That'll absolutely do it. Getting close. Double G, slide it. See how it starts to change shape? Because it's responding to the nature of the poly flow.
Yeah.
Poly structure. Because as you get further to the bottom, it's getting closer to this shape. To this shape. Come on. That shape there. Getting closer to this little V shape in here. So unless I actually flatten out this shape, which I'm not going to do, I don't need to do it. But it doesn't matter. I'm just going to place it where I want it. So grab this, double G it, place it exactly where I want it, and then hit the S scale Z 0 and then enter, done. Okay, now from here we can pull off our extra geometry. Mm-hmm. See, so by having that extra geometry in here, that little slice in the middle, it helps me to control the theme. Go back to X-ray, 3 key on the keyboard for face editing mode. I'm in the wrong faces. I got to turn it around so I can see the dots in the middle of the faces of these things. That one and that one. There we go. That's what I want.
Yes.
Yep. Go to the front view. Now, if I want this to extrude out flat, then I can take this top face here, push it over like this.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, we can probably just do this. If I want this absolutely flat in here, that whole edge, so scale, so the Y, or is it the X? X, 0, there. And the same thing for this here, that little edge, scale,
X,
0. Same thing for this here. So get this. Oops, stop. All right, I want the edge editing mode. Thank you. There we go. Just to do that real quick. Scale X 0.
Oops.
Yeah, big oops. Scale X 0. There we go. So everything is going to be aligned correctly. Now, face editing mode, grab that face there. E, see, now it flows in the direction it needed to go.
Yeah.
Let's put this in key. That's no fuss. Just put the 0 in there for the x-axis. There. That's the global 0 axis for x. This also has another little piece that comes off the edge. We can see it. It's a slight little rounded piece that comes off. So all we're going to do here is just grab that face. E, extrude it out, and that'll take care of that. It's done. Let's take the top portion. Let's go to the front face view. And push it on up into the carriage itself. There we go. Okay, so we did everything. This is kind of one by one. We'll do the next two together. So we'll save time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so get off. Let me go to pull this back a little bit. Sometimes if I have a hard time pulling, it starts to slow down, grab a small little piece here, hit the period key on your numeric side, and then it will jump right to it, and you're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go grab all of these faces. Oops, sorry.
Oops, got the bottom.
That one, and then let's go and grab this one here. Do them both at one time. There. Got to find a little dot. There it is. Okay, go to front view here. E key, extrude it on up over to here. Pull it and just manually pulling it. That one worked well. Okay. Right click, loop tools, flatten. I'm going to put the dead center right on the base of this thing here where I want it to go up. And then from here, it's just going to be scale Z0. Okay. Enter S for scale and pull it on out. That looks about right. E for extrude and pull it on up. Let's flatten that out. So SZ0, flatten that out. Okay. All right, so now I got to go to the side and just correct this. That's easy peasy to do. Just go ahead and grab these here and just put it back where it should go. Scale on a Y. Let's put it on back. Go to the next one. Grab these. Pull it on back to here. Make it as dead center as much as I can. S and then Y. Oops. There we go.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now let's go ahead and bring this on out. So just to be safe, let's go to this. Oh, I don't like that view right now because go grab this one and that one. And the same thing here. Now, oh, not that one. So I'm going to have to get in closer. That one and that one. Nope, not that one. That one.
Almost there you go.
That one. Exactly. There we go. So that should be pretty flat. Now, just to double check it, I'll just hit the S key X0 for both. Yep, looks pretty good. Now that is flattened absolutely, it will extrude on out straight across. E key for extrude and place it right about with the other one.
And you might want to numerically look at that and make sure it's set at 0.
Yeah, I'll do all that in just a minute. I want to get the tops
Okay.
lined up first. In fact, we'll do all the tops at one time.
Yeah.
This one's off a little bit. That top is off a little bit, I think. Yeah, let me go to the cipher. Let me just deselect the others, grab that top real quick. Get rid of those and go to the side view. Yeah. That was off just a teensy bit. Let's bring it straight up. Oops. Okay, undo. And let's go select all of that. Let's bring it I'm just going to eye it because I'm going to end up beveling, giving it a bevel type of effect anyway. So I'm not going to stress out about it being completely up and down. Yeah, everything else looks pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah, so from here, go to my front view. I should be able to select them all at one time. Right there. Okay, front view again. Where's my mouse? Thank you. Front view right there again. Period key. Scale Z0. Done. That looks pretty good right where it is. Okay, they all share the same plane on the Z axis. I'm going to pull them all up just a little bit into the like that. Yeah, that'll be better. All right, and I go to the side view, grab those faces, and let's just put them, hit the N key and put them on the X axis of 0. Oops, wrong one. There. Now they're all lined up. Let me hit SX0 just to make absolutely sure. And yeah, all that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, so I guess we can go from here and just go over to our mirror modifier. I think that's all we have time for. So go to here, go back to this. Just turn off that the reference here. Now we forgot to do something. Shift S, cursor to selected.
Okay.
Object, right click, origin to 3D geometry. No. Right click, origin. I said to 3D geometry. That's not what I meant. To 3D cursor. Now we can go ahead and add in our modifier. Add a new modifier, and let's go over here to mirror. Bang. Done. Okay. So we're making progress. I think we're going to set up a scene of snow, a sky with snow and wind and all that stuff with this too.
Yeah, I think your sleigh, not your
Sleigh is off.
I think your sleigh body is not at center.
Yeah, I think that's odd because it should be.
Yeah.
But we did all that center.
Well, sometimes these little mistakes slip us, We're only human beings. We're not perfect.
Oh, look at that. It looks like, well, maybe it didn't. Let me go over here and go to this front view. All right, let's see. No, it looks like it's on there. So if I want to see the Z axis going up and down, I believe that is, I think that's under the overlay option here. Yeah, there it is. There's my blue Z axis line. So it's not centered. That's turned off by default in Blender.
Yeah,
Sometimes I think it helps to just have it on.
same here. I believe that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right there. So it's not on the x-axis. So let's go ahead and modify this one. Go into here. And just go to back in edit mode. Go to my edge editing mode. Double click that edge loop. And set that on the 0 axis, which for some reason I thought I did that. See, it's way off.
Mm-hmm.
There. Okay, so Shift A, not Shift A, silly me, Shift S. Shift S, cursor to select it. Tab key, object mode, right click, set the origin to 3D cursor. Boom, there we go.
There we go.
That fixed it. That fixed it. So it's coming along.
I like.
Yep, it's coming along. So we got to get it rounded to match. We got a lot of little details here. Let's bring back the, and we got to texture it, all that stuff. So we got the sleigh. Let's bring back the triple version of the sleigh. And let's kind of look at what we need to do. We got the bells. Let's go take this in the material mode so it gives us a better idea of what we got to render here. Okay, so this is a frame on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could accomplish this with a bevel. I mean, an inset.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think maybe with the inset. We got to do this rounded portion in the back and this same rounded style portion in the front. This is kind of like a scroll or something. There's something inside here.
Mm-hmm. Like a nobbin or whatever.
All right. And then we're going to have to texture this out. This texture is all messed up on here when we brought it in from Triple. So this has got to be redone. And we have to modify the feet just a little bit. I think that we're gonna handle the feet with the subdivision surfaces. So if I go target the feet, there we go, and give it a sub D. I see what's happening. It's that bevel that's keeping it from subdividing as nicely as it should. So we'll turn that off. There we go. Yeah, we probably don't want bevel on this. We probably don't want bevel on this. So subdivision surfaces, go to level of 3. There we go. And then we'll add in some edge loops down here to control how the edges are connecting. So we can still get that hard surface look in combination with this more of an organic look.
Mm-hmm. Looks like iSled.
Yeah. And we've got surface textures that we're going to have to put on here. I might do this with a displacement map. Just this section right here.
Yeah, that's doable. It's quick. It's simple. It actually affects the geometry.
Yeah, it will require a little more geometry, but again, we can do that as a separate panel. I can build a separate panel just for a displacement map and then just put it on top, and that'll do the job for us. So we'll leave everything else alone and bring in a separate displacement channel. So bells, do one of those. That'll be easy. We'll get some type of a reference for bells, and then we will use an array modifier, or actually array and curve modifier to array and curve it right in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
It's coming along. So we're definitely going to need a displacement map for this.
Yeah.
Get that wood type of an effect.
Kind of an odd decoration on the rear bottom.
And I need to go find some reindeer.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. And get those and connect them with rope. We got this week and we have next week before Christmas, right? We have one more week for Christmas. So I'm going to have to work this out.
Yeah. The following Monday is the 22nd. I go in to see my new doctor.
No, I know. I got mine on the 24th.
Oh, sweet.
It's like, why do they schedule medical checkups right in the middle of the holiday season when you know you're going to be eating all types of junk and going to parties? Your weight's not going to go down, so you're not going to get the best results in blood tests. It's like, stop doing this. All right, so by the time we get done with this, we're going to have a better looking result than what Triple gave us. Got these little extra details back here we need to model in. That's easy to do.
Well, AI's got a lot to produce. It has a long way to go until it's perfect.
Yeah, it will, because it's doing such a great job with 2D imagery. I expect it'll just improve drastically for 3D. Mm-hmm. So give it some time, but still you need to have your modeling skills, right? Modeling skills are still important, because you're going to you want your work to be about your vision, not what AI does for you.
Yeah.
So you need to have the ability to go in there and manipulate what AI is giving you to produce your own work. So we're in a way we're kind of doing what you do in gaming, where it's retopology. It's basically what we're kind of doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we redesigning it so that it fits something that's a lot less complicated than what the 3D engine or the AI 3D program gave us. I'm gonna look for some nice textures. We can do wood textures. We need to maybe we'll do some painting. I don't know. Let's see if we have time for all that.
Yeah, use some Photoshop. You're the Photoshop expert.
Well, if we have time, I'm a little bit off. Let me see on my feet view. I'm a little bit off on my feet view. Isn't that interesting?
Well, I had I had story class last night. We were reviewing the latest episode of Digital Circus.
Right.
And that turned out to be a real interesting adventure, because let's see, what's the polite way of doing it? Gooseworks kind of pulled a Stanley Kubrick. I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not, but there's a less polite terminology which I will avoid, because I'm in good company here. It has to, the first word has to do with mine.
Okay.
The second word has F in front of it.
Oh man. Okay. So this is kind of odd. Why is this not lining up properly? I gotta go figure that out. Okay, I'll figure it out later.
Okay. It's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock. Is that time? Thank you, everyone.
I think it was a great show.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. And thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim, and thank you, David. We'll come back next week. Next week, Saturday, 10 a.m.
Okay.
All right, and we'll see everybody soon. Great. So what I'll do is I will end the